I never believed in cursed objects. Ghosts, sure. Stories my grandmother whispered when the lights flickered. Haunted houses, maybe. But cursed things? That sounded like the kind of nonsense people say when they need to sell something. Then I bought the mirror. It was from an estate auction out in Hollow Creek, the kind of small town that seems trapped somewhere between time and rot. The listing said, antique Venetian mirror, belonged to the late Dr. Isaac Harrow. Excellent condition. Hand-carved frame. Early 1900s. It was beautiful. Tall, oval, rimmed with black wood carved into roses. The glass was smoky, the silver backing fading just enough to make the reflection soft, almost dreamlike. I got it for $40. It felt like a steal. But bargains, I've learned, often come with interest you don't pay in cash. The first time I noticed something wrong, it was subtle. I hung the mirror in my hallway, opposite my front door. Every morning before work, I'd glance at myself. Same tired eyes, same coffee stain on my shirt. But one morning, something strange caught my attention. As I reached up to fix my hair, my reflection didn't move. Not immediately. There was a delay, half a second, maybe less, but enough to make my stomach drop. I laughed it off, told myself I was tired, or hungover, or both, but the next day, it happened again. I blinked. My reflection blinked after, like it was thinking about it. That night, I decided to test it. I stood in front of the mirror, phone recording in hand. I raised my right hand. My reflection raised its left. Normal. I smiled. It smiled. Normal. Then, as I lowered my arm, it didn't. It just stood there, smiling. I froze. The air felt heavier, like the space between me and the glass was filling with water. My reflection's smile began to widen, stretching past what my own lips could manage. I dropped my phone. When I looked again, everything was normal. I told myself I'd imagined it. I wanted to have imagined it. Over the next few days, the house started feeling wrong. I'd wake up to find the mirror fogged, as if someone had breathed on it during the night. Once, I wiped the glass clean, only to find a handprint on the inside. I stopped sleeping in the hallway's line of sight. But the sounds followed me. Sometimes it was faint, a whisper when I passed by. Sometimes it was a low hum, like someone humming a tune just below hearing range. I started keeping the lights on all night. Curiosity, or stupidity, made me look up Dr. Isaac Harrow. He'd been a psychiatrist who lived in Hollow Creek until his death in 1974. No wife, no children. According to a newspaper clipping, he'd been found dead in his study, slumped in his chair, facing that same mirror. The article mentioned something odd. The coroner never determined a cause of death. Heart failure, they said. But there was no sign of trauma, no blockage, no reason. Just stopped. He'd been found by his nurse, who claimed she'd heard a conversation in the study an hour before she found him. Only one voice had been identified, his own. That night, I covered the mirror with a sheet. The silence that followed was worse. I could feel it behind the fabric, like someone standing too close in the dark. The air seemed to vibrate with its presence. At 3:12 a.m., I woke up to the sound of something moving downstairs. Footsteps. Slow. Bare. Wet. I sat frozen in bed, heart pounding. Then, the sound stopped, right outside my bedroom door. When I finally gathered the courage to move, I turned on the lamp. The sheet was gone, and from my bed, I could see the hallway. The mirror was uncovered, and my reflection was smiling. I didn't sleep that night. The next morning, I called the auction house. The woman on the line hesitated when I mentioned the mirror. "Oh," she said quietly, "that one." She told me I wasn't the first to complain. The mirror had been sold before, twice. The first buyer returned it within a week, claiming it moved on its own. The second never returned it, but 6 months later, Police found her dead in her apartment, heart failure. She'd been sitting in front of the mirror. I decided I had to get rid of it. I wrapped it in a tarp, loaded it into my car, and drove 30 miles to the edge of the quarry. I threw it over the cliff and listened as it shattered below. The sound echoed like a scream. I felt lighter instantly, but when I got home, it was waiting, leaning against the hallway wall, unbroken, glistening with condensation, as if it had walked back. The reflection smiled before I did. After that, it started showing me things that weren't there. People behind me. Rooms that didn't exist. Once, it showed me sitting on my bed, sleeping. But when I turned around, my bed was empty. The more I tried to look away, the more it demanded my attention. Sometimes it would whisper in the same voice I used. Sometimes it would call my name when I wasn't even near it. I began to realize it didn't just reflect. It remembered every gesture, every expression, every heartbeat, and it was learning. On the 5th night, I woke up on the floor, right in front of the mirror. I don't remember walking there. My reflection was already awake, staring at me. I lifted my hand. It lifted sooner. I blinked. It didn't. It just smiled that stretched, broken smile, the one that didn't belong to my face. Then it moved, not in the glass. Out of it. For a second, the surface rippled like water, and something cold brushed my cheek. The room spun. My vision went black. When I woke up, the mirror was spotless, and the reflection wasn't me. It's been 3 weeks since then. When I stand in front of it now, I don't see myself at all. I see him, Dr. Harrow, his hollow eyes, his cracked smile, his hands pressed against the glass like he's trapped behind it. Sometimes he moves when I do. Sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he just watches. And sometimes, when the lights go out, I swear I can feel him on my side of the mirror, breathing, waiting. And lately, when I look away, I catch glimpses of movement in my reflection, my own reflection, doing things I haven't done yet, smiling when I'm not, turning when I don't, reaching toward me, like it's getting ready to switch places. They say the eyes are windows to the soul, but mirrors are doors, and I think mine's already open.